Extra! 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 Prices at rock bottom. Extra!
No, that's not possible. It costs the same as my house.
I'm sorry. It's worth nothing anymore.
Damn it. I've lost everything.
What could drive a man to ruin over a simple flower? This is the story of Tulip Mania, the first great speculative bubble in history. A tale of greed, euphoria, and a crashing fall that would resonate through the centuries. '17th century, the Netherlands, a maritime and commercial power. The Dutch East India Company brings exotic riches from distant lands, creating a prosperous society and a fertile environment for new ideas and new obsessions.
Have you ever seen such a marvel? Look at the colors, the exuberance.
Let's find the strange flower the lady asked for.
The tulip?
These novelties, a flower originating from distant lands, began to capture people's imagination. The tulip was not just any flower. Its vibrant colors, its unique shapes made it different among tea from anything known in Europe. It quickly became a symbol of status, a collector's item valued by the elite. Originating from exotic regions, the tulip arrived in Europe in the 16th century, awakening curiosity and admiration. Carolus Clusius, a renowned botanist, played a crucial role in its introduction and popularization in the Netherlands. Its singular beauty, with a wide range of colors and unusual shapes, differentiated it from the common flowers of the era. The cultivation of the tulip, however, required time and patience, which contributed to its rarity and therefore to its initial value.
I had never seen a flower like that. It was different from everything I knew, with such vivid colors and an elegant shape. It came from distant lands, which made it even more mysterious and desirable.
Just a prettier flower, yes, but only a flower. I didn't understand what all the fuss was about. In my workshop with my hands, I create things that last, useful things. A flower is just ephemeral beauty.
But demand quickly surpassed supply. Prices began to rise, creating an incipient market and an opportunity for speculation. The tulip ceased to be just a flower to become a symbol of status, an object of desire among the elite. Amsterdam, 1634. The tulip market became a hive of activity. Not only wealthy collectors bought bulbs. Merchants, artisans, even humble people saw in tulips an opportunity to get rich quickly.
handel groeit, de mensen ook. Mijn herberg vol met wijn en rook. De nieuwe rijken dansen hier en drinken al mijn beste bier. Listen up, I've seen it all behind this wooden bar. Simple folks turn wealthy, reaching for the stars. Trading paper fortunes, drinking fancy wine. But who knows if tomorrow they'll still be doing fine.
I heard that the Viceroy variety was sold for the price of a dowry. A dowry for a single bulb.
Be careful, friends. Prices are rising too fast. This cannot end well. Do you remember the story of the miller who lost his mill over exotic snails?
In Amsterdam, in Amsterdam.
But the warning falls on deaf ears. The tulip fever spreads throughout the city, throughout the country. Futures markets are created where contracts for bulbs that have not yet been cultivated are traded. Speculation reaches levels never before seen. 1636, the most frantic winter. Prices rocket. A single bulb of the coveted Semper Augustus variety, with its characteristic white stripes on a red background, came to be worth more than a stately house in the center of Amsterdam.
I began to understand why people appreciated them so much. Having a beautiful tulip was like having a jewel, a display of good taste and richness. And now they were worth fortunes. Perhaps this could be my opportunity.
I started hearing about prices, about how valuable they were becoming. Merchants, nobles, everyone was talking about tulips. I started thinking if perhaps there was something more to these flowers than met the eye. Perhaps I could invest a small part of my savings.
Who could imagine that a simple flower could reach such value? But collective euphoria blinds reason. The auctions are madness. People sell their possessions, get deep into debt, all for the promise of instant wealth. The price of tulips turns into a national obsession.
Nations, like individuals, have their whims. Once a folly takes hold of them, they are seen rushing after it with as much enthusiasm as if it were a matter of life or death.
But like every bubble, this one was also destined to burst. February 1637. Panic grips the market. Prices plummet. Overnight, those who thought they were millionaires find themselves ruined.
Therefore, having carefully examined the evidence presented by the defendant, and being clearly established before this tribunal that the aforementioned possesses neither goods nor funds with which to satisfy the obligation contracted in the future agreement, I declare it null and void.
The crisis spreads like a fire, dragging down banks, merchants, and entire families. The economy of the Netherlands is severely affected.
I was a fool. I let myself be carried away by greed, by the promise of easy wealth. I risked everything I had built with years of hard work. and I lost it in an instant.
I thought it was my opportunity to be independent, to stand on my own 2 feet. But the bubble burst and I was left with nothing, worse off than at the beginning. It was a very bitter lesson.
The tulip fever becomes a bitter lesson about the dangers of uncontrolled speculation and the fragility of markets. Although the tulip crisis was a relatively short episode in history, its echo resonates to this day. It reminds us of the importance of prudence, rational analysis, and the need to avoid being carried away by collective euphoria. And it also reminds us that in the end, a tulip is nothing more than a flower. Its beauty is ephemeral, and its value built on the fragile base of human speculation. Today, centuries later, the echoes of Tulip Mania still resonate, not as a mere anecdote from the past, but as a reflection of our own human nature.
And therefore, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it.
Flowers change, markets change, but desire, euphoria, and fear continue writing similar stories. Thank you for joining us on this journey between bulbs, dreams, and shipwrecks. If you like this documentary, don't forget to subscribe to Chronicles for the future. Leave us your comment and share this video. You help us continue researching and creating new stories that connect past and present. Until the next Chronicle.